meet someone new. 3 weeks later, you can't stop thinking about them. Your chest tightens when your phone buzzes. Your brain replays a 10-second conversation on a loop. It feels like magic, it feels like fate. But the real answer is far stranger. Your brain isn't falling in love. It's running a program that is over 1,000,000 years old. Think about how fast it happens. Not months, sometimes days. A glance across a room, a voice on the phone. Something ancient switches on and you have almost no control over it. That should feel strange to you. Nothing else in your life moves this fast. Not trust, not friendship, not loyalty. Those take years to build. So why does this one thing, the most important bond a human can form, happen in the time it takes to finish a cup of coffee? The answer isn't romantic, it's tactical. 200,000 years ago, your ancestors weren't dating, they were surviving. And survival on the open savanna had one brutal rule. A mother alone with an infant does not last long. Predators are faster than she is. Food is scarce. Every hour spent foraging is an hour the baby is unprotected. A human infant, unlike almost every other mammal on Earth, is born helpless. It cannot walk. It cannot cling to fur. It cannot feed itself for years. That helplessness is a design flaw with a terrifying cost. And evolution does not tolerate flaws it can't patch. So it built a patch. A bonding system so fast, so intense, and so involuntary that two strangers could become a functioning survival unit almost overnight. That system is still installed in you, right now. The anthropologist Helen Fisher spent decades studying what happens inside the brain during early romantic attraction, and her research revealed something almost embarrassing about how little control you actually have. When she scanned the brains of people who had just fallen in love, she found activity flooding the ventral tegmental area, a primitive region buried deep beneath your conscious thought, a region that also lights up during cocaine use. Your brain isn't treating new love like a feeling. It's treating it like a survival-critical event, the same category as finding food when you're starving. That's the first piece decoded. The intensity isn't romance. It's your brain marking a mating opportunity as urgent because on the savannah, urgency meant survival. Here's where it gets stranger. Speed wasn't a bug in the system. Speed was the entire point. Prehistoric human who took 8 months to decide whether to bond with someone was already dead by the time the decision mattered. Pregnancy takes 9 months. Infancy takes years. If your ancestors' brains had waited for logic, for spreadsheets of compatibility, for a slow accumulation of trust, the species simply would not have survived long enough to produce you. So evolution favored speed over accuracy. Fast, intense, obsessive attachment beat careful, rational selection every single time. You are the descendant of the humans who fell hard, fell fast, and fell first, which raises an uncomfortable question. If the system rewards speed, how does it decide who to fall for? This is where things stop feeling random. Researcher Arthur Aron ran an experiment in the 1990s that has become famous for a simple reason. It made two strangers fall in love inside a laboratory. He gave them 36 increasingly personal questions to ask each other, followed by 4 minutes of uninterrupted eye contact. No trick, no chemistry beforehand, just structured vulnerability and sustained attention. Any participants reported genuine attachment by the end. One pair got married. Why did that work? Because your ancient bonding system isn't looking for a soulmate. It's looking for specific signals. Vulnerability signals trust. Eye contact signals focused attention, which your ancestors' brains read as investment. Investment, to a Stone Age mind, meant this person might actually stick around to help raise a child. Your brain isn't asking, is this the one? It's asking a much older, much blunter question. Is this person safe enough, present enough, and invested enough to help me survive? You don't hear that question consciously. You just feel it as a spark. There's a second layer running underneath all of this, and it involves a chemical you've probably heard of but underestimated. Oxytocin. It floods your system during physical closeness, eye contact, and vulnerable conversation. The same chemical that surges when a mother holds her newborn. Your brain, quite literally, uses the same bonding chemistry for romantic partners that it uses for parent-infant attachment. That's not a coincidence. It's a reuse of old code. Evolution rarely invents a new system when it can repurpose one that already works. This explains something that might have puzzled you before. Why does new love feel almost embarrassingly similar to obsession? Why do you check your phone if they haven't texted back? Why does a single unanswered message feel disproportionately painful? Psychologist John Bowlby, working decades before modern neuroscience could confirm his ideas, called this attachment behavior. And he originally studied it in infants separated from their mothers. The infant cries, searches, panics until the bond is restored. Later research by Cindy Hazen and Philip Shaver found that adults in early romantic relationships display almost identical behavior. The same panic, the same searching, the same relief when contact is restored. You are not overreacting when you feel anxious about a partner's silence. You are running the exact same emergency protocol your ancestors ran when a caregiver wandered out of sight. So here's the twist that should genuinely surprise you. The dizzy, obsessive, can't-eat, can't-focus phase of new love isn't a bonus feature of romance. It's the core mechanism. It was never designed to feel good exactly. It was designed to feel urgent, powerful enough to override logic because logic is slow and slow was once a death sentence. And it doesn't last forever by design. Fisher's research also shows that this intense phase typically fades after 12 to 18 months, replaced by a calmer, steadier form of attachment built more on companionship than obsession. That's not your relationship failing. That's the ancient program completing its job. The urgent bonding phase exists to lock two people together long enough to conceive and protect an infant through its most vulnerable early stage. Once that foundation is built, your brain shifts strategy. It trades intensity for stability, because raising a child for years required partners who could cooperate calmly, not partners who were still high on obsession. Now think about your own life differently. That person you couldn't stop thinking about after one conversation. That flutter when your phone lights up with their name. The strange, almost irrational pull towards someone you barely know. None of that is random, and none of it is entirely yours. It's a survival mechanism built for a species that no longer needs it the way it once did, still running exactly as designed. A world of dating apps and text messages instead of open grasslands and shared fires. You're not falling in love as fast as you think. Your ancestors are. And tonight, when your phone buzzes and your chest tightens before you even see the name, you'll know exactly what's happening. Some circuit older than language, older than fire, older than the idea of romance itself, is doing the one job it was built to do, making sure you don't face the world alone.